everybody hates Nicola Mitchell. But why? This is a question we're going to try and answer today. Now, what has Nicola Mitchell done? Well, she was introduced in 2024. She was an assistant to the Mitchells. Like she was Teddy Mitchell's wife, fiance, wife, whatever you want to say. And basically, we found out, I can't say the word, but she was very much like Peggy Mitchell in a sense, and Ronnie and Roxy, where she was kind of just or a Cindy, I guess would be another comparison.
She flirts with the law.
Yeah.
She flirts with the law a little bit. She has consistently been a bit more divisive than other people would, is more willing to toe the line between good and bad, and will pretty much do anything she feels she has to get the outcome she desires.
Yes. And oh, hold on. Jesus, that bloody Sprite's still stuck in my throat. And we see this with her introduction, where like she like goes up to Penny Mitchell, is like, oh, you must be, well, not Penny Mitchell, Penny Brown, and she's like, oh, you must be Penny, and Penny's like, yeah, and then she's just like trying to weasel her way in, and Penny's like, I'm really leaving, this isn't for me, but she does stop Teddy from buying the Peggy's, the nightclub, not nightclub, the whatever it is, the wine bar. She stops Teddy from buying the wine bar, and she buys it. She renames it Harry's Barn. You know why she names it Harry's Barn, Ash? No, you don't.
Yep.
Because Harry is the name for son, and Barney's the name for younger son. So there you go. That's a fun fact for you if you couldn't figure it out. And she sets it up, and it's a business is booming. And then we hit a pothole as Zach finds out. Well, in a conversation with Martin, where Martin's like, he's 16, right? And Zach's like, yeah. You shagged her 16 years ago, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. I'll get that checked, mate, I would. That seems a bit coincidental. I nearly said coincidental. And we find out that Zach is the baby daddy of Barney. Now, obviously you do not want to tell Barney, for obvious reasons. That would cause a lot of trauma, that you've basically been living with this stranger for years who you thought you were your dad, and now he's not.
I mean, I don't think it wouldn't be a problem for Barney as such. It's a problem for Nicola. It's a problem for her. If this gets revealed, Teddy will never be with her again. Like, Teddy will not forgive her whatsoever. Barney will probably be pretty upset, but I'd imagine he'll be pretty comfortable knowing that Teddy is his dad. Biological or not, he's spent all this life with him. He's raised him. So fundamentally, I don't think Barney's really at risk, but I think her relationship with Teddy is what she's really trying to hold on to. And even continuing that, though, where it would be revealed that Harry, our other son's girlfriend, went missing. And it has obviously been quite touted that Nicola got rid of Shireen. In what way? And that there was a nondescript, very alive body buried in the place that Teddy is going to do up into luxury flats. So with that all being in mind, and as of like this previous week, I don't know when this is coming out, but it was then revealed that Shireen also knew that Barney isn't Teddy's. So that was probably what made Shireen had to, take a long walk in the afterlife. And from that point, now we've seen that Nicola will go to certain lengths to try and avoid capture, avoid suspicion, avoid people finding out the real thing. She's gotten Zach attacked. She basically got Barney bullied for going to the gym to make sure he didn't spend time with Zach, which is really messed up, but still. And now she is just willing to screw over anybody in order to keep herself safe and keep herself insulated, so her secret doesn't get ousted and she becomes isolated. And now it brings the question, people really don't like Nicola Mitchell. And honestly, I don't know why. Because you take a look at the makeup of Nicola. She is a blonde Mitchell who is kind of cold and calculating and will harm people to get what she wants. She's kind of Ronnie Mitchell in a way. People love Ronnie, absolutely love Ronnie, but Nicola's different. She doesn't work the same. She looks different. She doesn't act the same. And obviously, she's a part of a new family, which people have also been saying, oh, it's just GCSE level acting. Oh, it's just cheeks, isn't it? Like, I don't understand why people don't like. She's a blonde Mitchell who doesn't take any abuse from anyone. You know who else was like that? Peggy. It's like she's templated off these. Obviously, she's not a mocker. She's not like a. She's not made to just be a substitute. She's not made. She's not there just to be. Oh, hey, like obviously she's not the same as Ronnie. It's a different character, right? It is. But also, a lot of her characteristics fundamentally line up with what Ronnie would probably be doing at this point. Ronnie would be interfering in a kid's life. Of course you fucking would. It's Ronnie Mitchell. There's nothing in her life she doesn't control. It's just, it's so bizarre that people don't like her because she is the image of what people would want her to be. It's just like, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. She is genuinely a nice little mixture between Peggy and Ronnie. That is where she sits. Maybe a bit of Sam Mitchell in there, all in all.
Oh, you go ahead, man. You go ahead.
No, you just made noise like you were going to speak.
I was going to speak, but you were having a sentence, so I was like, oh, no. Do you want me to think of my point, or?
Yeah, continue your point.
Your point. Sorry, lads. I'm a bit sleepy from my trip from London. But as I was saying, I think the reason why people don't like her is they see a carbon copy. Well, I don't want to say carbon copy because she's not a carbon copy, but they see that this is akin to the old Mitchells, and it just isn't what they want. Like, they want a new Mitchell, but they don't like how she's portrayed. Because, she's portrayed like the past Mitchells. I know that might just sound like I'm putting words together making a sandwich, but that's what I generally think why people don't like her. It's because when you need, how can I put this? You need to base people off characters, and sometimes you do need to reuse the assets. You know, when you're creating a wrestler or a character, sometimes you do need to reuse Asset 66, maybe. But it's just a thing. You can't really be like, I'm Nicola Mitchell and I'm the hot bitch and this is what I do. It just doesn't work. She needs to kind of, and plus she's a Mitchell. Like, no Mitchell is safe. No Mitchell just pops in for a cup of tea and leaves. Unless you're Nigel for some reason. But he's on the side.
He's not Mitchell.
He's part-time Mitchell. But yeah, she's just a Mitchell woman, and I can also see why people hate her, because maybe her acting isn't the best, which again is another critique I have for the show. I think her acting's great, but I'd assume that
well, it's just people. I don't know. People have ridiculous. It's just people have their own little. People like to have their idea of what they believe is good acting, and honestly, it comes and goes. Like sometimes it's like. People get taken by an idea. It's like how there was the big controversy about Henry Cavill in The Witcher, and then suddenly everybody's like, oh, but he really loves the source material. This is great. Everybody should love the source material, even though there's tons of performances that people have done where they've not even read the fucking book, but they've made an iconic portrayal of this in the same way. But people get caught up in that. People get caught up when The Boys was coming out. There was a lot of emphasis on like micro expressions, and that became something that people really started to love. Where it's like, oh, look at all those micro expressions in the face. It's like, does it really make it 10 times better? Yeah, kind of. It's a nice little sprinkle of sugar on top, but fundamentally, does that depict good acting? But then people can't really justify good acting in the first place. If people don't have generic standard delivery and someone plays a more anxious character, instead of instead of acknowledging that the anxiety put forward in their voice is actually a part of the role, they just think that it's shit delivery, which is like, no. This is the whole point of this delivery. It's the whole point of the thing. A person who's less confident isn't going to say it the same way that Barney's not going to deliver his lines like Harry would.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but like, and it's new Mitchells as well, right? Because like you said, they have been thrust onto our screens and made big characters, and all people look at them and they're just judging them as the Mitchells of yesteryears. Who is Harry? Harry just says dumb, half motivational quotes and says stupid shit. And he doesn't even have conversations with people. He's just monologuing and saying funny lines. Like, well, that's not true, is it? Oh, Nicola, I heard someone say that she's got like her expression when she gets angry. It's like a bulldog chewing a bee, which is fucking mental. It's an absolutely hilarious comparison, and honestly, it does work. But like, why are people so fixated on finding a reason to despise her? I'm like, yeah, sure, there are reasons to genuinely dislike Nicola. She's not a good person. She does messed up stuff to take control and try be in control of a family. Yes, that's a perfectly valid reason as to why you don't like Nicola. She goes extra layers. She goes too far and self-destructs and puts her family at risk by the actions she takes. But isn't this also the template for every other Mitchell in existence? Like, you don't... It's like... It's the example I always make, but it's like when people were saying, oh, they're bringing back Cindy. I hope she doesn't cheat on Ian again. So, what do you mean? I hope Nigel doesn't wear a cardigan. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's what he does. It's what Cindy does. It's what Mitchell women do. That's how the character works. You don't bring in Phil Mitchell and then say, yeah, Phil's not violent anymore. Of course he is. It's the whole point of the character. He's Phil Mitchell. He's toxic masculinity, bravado, Grant and Phil in one. That's what you call a weird personality transplant. You don't bring back Cindy to not cheat on Ian, because Cindy is a character in itself, and she's always looking out the shop window. You don't bring in a Mitchell woman to be a doormat. This is the kind of character people want. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's probably not going to live up to the Ronnies or the Roxys, but as I said before, and as I'll maintain, Nicola genuinely has potential to be the next character elevated, just like Suki Panasar as such. She was a character introduced in 2019. Well, is it 2019? Yeah, 2019. Floundered around for a while. Was a bit of a cold, calculating cow, but through the Suki and Eve storyline proceeded to get bigger, and then through the Nish and the Six stuff, then has ascended to being not yet an iconic character, but essentially getting on the path of progressing from just being a character who will not be remembered to a character who will be involved in soap history. And Nicola is the person in the family who will likely take that spot. It's like Ruby Milligan in Emmerdale, a character who was introduced not too long ago, proceeded to have a very big transformative storyline, made a lot of people like her, and now she's probably one of the most prominent actresses on that show, and still continues to get this treatment because she is tipped for bigger and better things. So it's going to be one of those things again. Just like Elaine. People still haven't come round to Elaine. They've still not come around to Elaine, and they don't like her still. But I will still be here when everybody decides, you know what, Elaine is actually a good character. And I'll still be here when everybody decides, you know what, Nicola's she's actually a good character, isn't she? She's actually quite fun. And she is actually a Mitchell, you know. She's never going to be the Sam, the Roxy, the Ronnies, but ultimately, two of those people we're probably never going to be able to see again unless they change everything. This is the best we got for now. This is who we got. She's like Ronnie. This is great. So once again, people cutting off the nose to spite their face, despising new characters just because they're new, and it's also the people who skip scenes as well. They'll skip scenes because they don't like the whiff. They've been smelling the smell coming out of the kitchen. Oh, that doesn't smell great. You want that, and what you're missing out on is a beautiful, delicious meal. But because you had one bad whiff, one bad smell enter your nose, you're like, I fucking hate that food. Never gonna try it, and you're never gonna like it because you're never gonna give it a proper chance. And I think that's the real outcome of this. Unsurprisingly, soap fan. Look, it's hard to be a soap fan and constantly renew the interest and constantly believe and want to hope for better. Sometimes you get into a rut. Sometimes you're just fed up of everything and the new stuff doesn't excite you. That's just how it is with soaps. But if you stop giving things a chance, you're probably going to stop enjoying things. It's all about perspective. You come into things with an open mind, probably going to be a bit more receptive to ideas. You go into things already believing everything is garbage, maybe everything looks and smells like shit.
This has been mostly Ash, as Piggy has been like a grandpa in the chair, slowly whistling away with time as he fell asleep constantly. I need to make a cup of tea for the second video. Let us know down below what you think of Nicola Mitchell. Do you hate it? Do you love it? What would you like to see from her? That's the question that we're going to ask you. Let us know in the next one. See you then. Bye bye. Bye bye.